So as we discussed in the beginning of the class, what is motion and who was Sir Isaac Newton? Today I'm going to read Simply Science, Motion by Melissa Stewart. I'm sure everyone loves roller coasters or seeing roller coasters in amusement parks, and this helps us understand how they work. What is motion? Every time you throw a ball, you give it motion. The ball soars through the air and falls to the ground. It will roll for a while and then stop. It does not matter whether the ball is big or small. This is how a ball always acts when you throw it here on Earth. If you could travel into deep space and throw a ball, it wouldn't act the same way. The ball would keep on moving in a straight line. It would never stop. It would never slow down. So I will pause to ask, why do you think this would happen in space and not on Earth? Take about a minute or two to answer that question and to have some hypothesis about that. The next page is the first law of motion. Why does a ball act differently in space than it does on Earth? A scientist from England named Sir Isaac Newton was one of the first people to understand how objects move. In 1687, he wrote down 3 rules that explain the motion of objects, such as a ball. These rules are called laws. Newton's first law of motion says that objects tend to keep on doing what they are doing. This law has 2 parts. So this is a picture of a family on bikes, and this is Sir Isaac Newton. So we're going to take a few minutes to stop and discuss with the class their own experience with the first law and motion in general. Just so we don't rush the students, we can take our time before we move on to the next page. I've also included that in my lesson plan on different activities we can create during that time. When we move on to the next page, we're going to discuss the following page and then take examples from students' daily lives. And we'll take another pause and then answer questions. And by that time, the session will be over, and then we'll move on to the next session where we'll continue the book and the rest of the laws. Towards the end of the book, we were able to focus on force, and I'll stop and show them all the pictures that shows examples of that. And after that session of completing the book, we will reread the book as a class and take turns. So I will pass the book to a student to read one of the pages, and they'll pass it back, and another student will take the book. So they'll get to experience me reading it, and then themselves reading it as well.